Who gave him away? How did the search party know where and which car he was in exactly? Well, at 3:30 a.m., according to the account of his daughter, Sophia, the then US Ambassador, Leon Pullada, received a phone call at his residence, which was about 2 miles from his office. Now, according to Gilchrist Olympio, the son of the president, Olympio, quote, at the end of 1964, almost 2 years after my father's death, he says, I met Pullada in Washington. He had just left the State Department, and I was still traumatized. He talked to me for 3 hours and told me that it was the French ambassador, Henry Mazoya, who had warned him that night that a coup was underway and that the president might have taken refuge at his embassy. Pullada arrived with his vehicle in front of his embassy. He came face to face with the rebels, who seemed drunk and high, and they threatened him. After an exchange, he entered the embassy grounds. Olympio immediately told him what had happened. The ambassador had advised him not to move from the car and to wait until he returned with keys to open the building. According to Sophia, Pullada did not open the building because he was afraid that the coup plotters would ransack it, returning to his residence. Unwittingly or so, the theory goes, he had called the French ambassador to ask for advice, not knowing that France was behind the coup, and thus had given away the Togolese president's location. At 6:40 a.m., Pullada called a young American diplomat, Vice Consul Richard Stock, who was living in a building just across the street from the embassy, asking him to keep an eye on what was going on. Stock watched armed men come and go on the street. 10 minutes past 7 a.m., he saw a civilian in shorts and bare feet in the middle of the coup plotters. At 7:15 a.m., he went to the kitchen to make himself a cup of coffee. That's when he had 3 shots at regular intervals. The shots were too far apart to be fired against a fleeing man, he said in a report that he wrote the next day. The founding father of Togo had been shot dead at the hands of Sergeant Etienne Ginsimbe Eyadema. In the days that followed, Sergeant Eyadema boasted to reporters that he had shot the president with his own hands. I shot him because he did